Moments ago, our cash-in told us that the market on closed orders show an imbalance to the sell side by $850 million. Pretty big number there.
Yeah, we're approaching that window dressing, too, for the end of the quarter.
That's true. Good point. And it is T+3.
I wonder if that,
Jack
reminded us.
Look it up. Darden is getting a big boost today on strong earnings and the announcement that it is buying Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen.
Yes, those shares are up more than 9%. And after the bell, we're going to get earnings from two more restaurant stocks, Dave & Buster's, hashtag ticker play, and Sonic. Both of those are up about 2% today. Joining us to see if now's the time to buy into the restaurant space, Peter Saleh from BTIG and Bob Derrington from Telsey Advisory Group. Peter, what do you think? Restaurant resurgence?
Look, I think the sentiment there on the restaurant space has probably been a little bit too negative. In our view, we don't tell investors blanket just get back into the restaurant space. We think you got to be more selective than that. In our view, the restaurant space, we're in an on-demand economy. Consumers want to purchase on their phone. They want the food delivered to their door. And you got to invest behind companies that are ahead of the curve on digital and delivery. Those companies, in our view, that's Panera, it's Domino's, it's Papa John's, and coming up the curve is the Cheesecake Factory. So that's where we've been telling investors to kind of focus their attention, not just to blanket, come into the restaurant space and buy any name, in our view.
Bob, you're the bear on this. Are you putting out a blanket statement that you wouldn't buy any restaurant stock here?
No, what I would say, Bill, is that, don't let the details get in the way of a good story. And right now, across the space, we saw a 16-year high consumer confidence. We saw one of the bellwethers for the industry, Darden, put up some pretty good numbers. And I think there's clearly some short covering that's, driving up a lot of these consumer names, these restaurant stocks especially. Because I think, to be fair, we've got some headwinds staring us in the face across this industry. And I think you need to tiptoe through the minefield.
What are those headwinds, Bob?
Yeah.
Well, just for example, if you look at the relationship between consumer confidence and restaurant industry same-store sales, we've actually turned into a negative correlation between the two. As consumer confidence has improved, sales have actually gotten worse this year. I'm not saying that's a correlation that's going to continue into the future, but it adds a level of concern, what's going on within the national ether, so to speak, that's affecting restaurant, consumer spending, which has really been very, very fragile.
Peter, I equate restaurants a lot like the retailers. There's just too many out there. So it's incumbent upon you to pick the winners, right? That are going to be left standing when others are falling by the wayside?
No, you're right. There are too many out there. So you got to find the restaurants that are actually differentiating themselves and doing something different.
So who would you not want to buy right now? I mean, I don't want you to come up with a negative thought here, but what kind of a restaurant do you avoid then?
Well, I think clearly casual dining has had its struggles for many years, and I think that's going to continue. So you got to be extremely selective within casual dining. But in terms of differentiating yourself, again, the restaurants that have invested on the digital side are seeing some great growth. Look at Panera. They made an investment over 2 years ago on their digital platform. Now they're doing it on delivery. Look how that stock has performed. Look at how the comps are going, where the earnings numbers are headed. Look at Domino's. They've been doing this for 8 to 10 years on the digital side. Look at where that stock is going. Papa John's is doing more of the same. Look, this is what the consumer wants, and these restaurants are giving it to them.
Yeah, that's quite a performance by Domino's there. Peter, Bob, good to see you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm hungry now. We will come back with the closing countdown in just a moment.